Wireless or wired? That was the question for Washington Electric Cooperative. The small electric co-op based in East Montpelier was looking to buy a smart grid system that would provide near instantaneous information from meters installed at each member's homes. The wireless option uses small radio transmitters to send the data back to headquarters. The wired alternative uses the power lines themselves to carry the signal. Co-op General Manager Avram Pat explains that the hardwired system was cheaper and better suited to the co-op's rural territory.
We made the decision to go with Powerline Carrier, not over any health issues which some people are concerned about. It really had to do with the fact that in our case, it made the most sense from a technology point of view and a cost point of view.
The wireless smart meters work in a similar fashion to cell phones. But Pat says wireless vendors advised the co-op the system was not ideal for the region served by the co-op. He says Washington Electric followed the lead of the Vermont Electric Co-op, which has already installed wire-based smart meters.
Radio frequency can't reach everywhere in a very rural and particularly hilly terrain. Our power lines are already there, so there's really essentially no additional infrastructure needed other than to put receiving equipment in each of our substations.
Both Central Vermont Public Service Corporation and Green Mountain Power plan to roll out a wireless smart meter system. It was this technology that drew opposition in Montpelier last week. Protesters said they were concerned about possible health effects from the unseen but ubiquitous radio frequency signals. The utilities say that the devices emit signals at well below federal safety standards. CVPS spokesman Steve Costello says his company chose the wireless alternative because of the options it provides for the future when electricity will be sold based on price and the time of day. He says smart meters could allow customers to choose the best time, for example, to charge an electric vehicle or to run energy-demanding equipment.
Essentially, we liken the hardwired system to kind of the first generation smart grid and the wireless system to the next generation that we think, 10 and 20 years from now is going to be a vastly superior system than maybe a hardwired system built today.
But Pat of Washington Electric says the hardwired technology will provide a similar range of services for co-op customers.
I'm not trying to get into a debate with the choices that other utilities made for their purposes. For our utility, which is the most rural in the state and is almost overwhelmingly residential, even the sellers of radio frequency technology told us that it didn't make sense for us to go with that.
The smart grid development in Vermont is expected to cost about $138 million. The federal government is paying about half the cost through stimulus grants. For VPR News, I'm John Dillon in Montpelier.